Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a shorter main stand episode today. We're gonna just we don't really have a name for these just yet, but it's just gonna be me, Mitch, Josh, sitting around a table talking really specific football things, rankings, things like that. We figured with the Premier League starting, it's a good time to get in, maybe make some quick hit little top fives for each of our positions, have some fun, spark some debate. So today the main stand is going to be doing our top 5 fullbacks in the Premier League, with the caveat that it has to be like real defenders, no midfielders that play fullback, nothing like that. It's just defenders, dudes that played left back or right back for at least a full season for all 20 of the clubs in the Premier League. So, do you guys want to start? Do you want me to start?
I'll start.
I'll start. I have a hot top 5. We kind of talked about it already. So number 1 is I have Reece James. I think he's the best fullback in the Premier League. When he's healthy, he can do everything. He can go forward and he can defend. I think he's the most well-rounded. Reece James. Number 2, I have Trippier. Number 3, I have Walker. Number 4, I have Estupinan. And number 5, I have Ben White.
Ugh.
I don't necessarily like the Ben White shout at 5th.
I think he's a great defender. I think he was really good for Arsenal last year. He's like fine going forward. He's defensively sound. He's versatile. I like Ben White. I think Ben White's the fifth best fullback in the league. Also, notably, there are like no good left backs in the world, but in the Premier League, there's like maybe 2.
Yeah, when Robertson decides to remember how to play, he can probably get thrown into the conversation.
Yeah, probably. No, I think Robertson's probably in there. And I mean, if I'm doing a top 10, I think Trent and Robertson both probably get in. For me, Robertson's kind of on the back half of his prime. He's getting a little worse. He's like noticeably shakier in some games. And Trent can't defend. You have to put him in the midfield because he can't defend. He's a footballer. He's probably top 5 in the Prem. But as a fullback strictly, he's not top 5.
He's a natural born midfielder.
It depends on, I guess, what you want from your fullback too.
That's
like
fair.
If you want your fullback bombing up the wing, I think he's in there. Reece James is explain that one to me.
He's just good on both ends of the ball. When Reece James is healthy, he's just as good at creating as Trent is. Sure. He's unbelievable at crossing the ball in, getting forward. He plays a pretty good pass, just like moving forward, helping progress you from back to front. He's comfortable in possession. He's good defensively. He's really good defensively. I think he's one of the best like one-on-one fullbacks you have in the league. I think the fact that he can do everything. It's not like Trent, who's like really offensively favored, or a guy like Walker or Wan-Bissaka, players like that who are like, they're good one-on-one defensively, but if you put the ball at their feet, I'm going to scream when I have to watch their final ball delivery. I think Reece James can just do everything. And the health thing is the caveat. I kind of made this top 5 with full fitness. They're healthy.
Okay.
Keeping that in mind. I think Reece James has shown individually, I think he's the best at everything. He's the most well-rounded fullback in the league, in my opinion.
I don't hate the shout. I guess I just want to know that for like future episodes we do of this, because I have one in the midfield who would be in the top midfielder category if he was hurt, or if he was not hurt all the time.
Well, when we get to the midfielder episode, you can state your case. But how about you tell me your top 5 fullbacks real quick
foreshadow.
I'll bring it up.
Mr. I can only think of 4 as he was doing this.
Yeah, I had a hard time thinking about it. I mean, first, it's hard to find a list of fullbacks in the Premier League. I wanted a comprehensive list to go by, and now I can't find said lists. So
perfect.
I've just got mine on my notes.
Not a
Tough start.
not a logistics podcast. I'm going off the dome.
Can you redo yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
I have
What was yours?
Reece James at number 1, Kieran Trippier at number 2,
Okay.
Kyle Walker at number 3, Estupinan at number 4, Ben White at 5.
I'd probably go Trippier 1.
That's fair.
I think he's had a really solid return to Newcastle in the Premier League.
I think he's been good.
There was
He's been really
doubts
good.
about him for sure coming back from Atletico, and he's proved it both for club and country. So that one's easy for me. 2, I would go... These two are really interchangeable. I'd go Trent at 2 for me.
I don't agree.
And then Walker. There's going to be people who don't like that. Whatever. I will take Trent's bad side for his good side because his good side is that tremendous.
I guess that's fair. I guess I don't agree. I really just don't agree. I don't think.
That's the thing though, is like, are we talking about the fundamentals of a right, like what is a right back, or are we talking about the best?
I just think you're
best
looking,
person in
looking
that position.
At the fullback role. Trent is more than that. He's not a great fullback. You had to put him in the midfield because you were getting cooked down his side consistently all season last year. Him defensively is a liability, and that you can't be a good fullback and be a defensive liability.
Correct, and that's where our arguments separate. Is Trent is a fullback, and he is one of the top 5 players with that position next to his name.
I think he's one of the top 5 footballers that,
which is what I'm
stands
saying,
in the position of right back, but he's not a good fullback.
What a pissing contest, boys.
We're getting into real semantics here, folks.
What do we got in 4 and 5, Josh?
So yeah, Walker in 3. I'd go Estupinan 4. I think he's already shown at the beginning of this year. You know,
he was great last year too.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big price tag on his name here eventually. And then 5th, I'm not gonna go Reece James just because I feel like that's too easy. I'm gonna get smoked for this. Someone I really do like watching, Matty Cash.
Fuck you.
That's a good shout. I wanted you to say Ryan Aït-Nouri because I think he's really good too.
I've talked about him for so long.
Aït-Nouri's a baller.
I really like him, but I think Matty Cash doesn't get enough love at Villa. I think he's actually one of the more important players on that side.
I want City to pick up Aït-Nouri when Wolves maybe get relegated. I want City to pick up Aït-Nouri so we have a real left back.
He's pretty good. He's young too. I knew that Mitch had someone deep in his pocket, but me and Mitch did not talk about this.
No, I was in my head that entire lead up. I was like, don't say Matty Cash. Don't say Matty Cash.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Fun note about Matty Cash, he plays at Poland.
He is Polish. He takes the walk to Poland.
He's got the most English Polish name ever. All right, Mitch, round us off. What's your top 5 fullbacks?
So up top, I do have Trippier, and I think actually the only place Josh and I deviate is 2 and 3. Actually 2, 3, and 4, the middle, the guts of it.
The guts, yeah.
I think Reece James is a solid 2. I think just defensively, week in, week out, and now that Chelsea have a more rounded midfield, I think he's gonna settle in a little bit better once he's back from injury.
That's fair.
And then in 3, I do have Trent. On any given day, it's either Trent or Estupinan in that role, and they're interchangeable. I think it does go week to week. If Trent is out there now that Liverpool have Endo as well, it's going to allow him to step back a little bit more into the right back role.
Unlocking Trent because he needs all the help around him to be a good fullback.
Well, it's not necessarily that. He was playing 2 positions at the end of last year, and he was doing it well. If you look at the last 6 weeks of the season, Trent is one of the best players in the league.
Oh, he was great. He was great because he can step into midfield and not defend.
He also does go through spells where he is a good defender.
First 2 weeks this year, he's been great.
But I don't think he's just... I think he makes individual lapses that can be teached.
Yes.
He's like 25 years old. You don't teach him. 25, you're like supposed to be in your prime.
He is in his prime. I mean,
he's not just going to magically get better at defending at 27.
No, but I think you get smarter at positioning and stuff, which is where he lapses. I think a lot of the times where he is exposed, it's not marking your man at the back post. That can be taught because that's an experiential thing, not talent.
Sure.
I don't think he's a bad tackler. I think he's bad positionally.
Yeah,
is he bad positionally, or is it Liverpool's lack of midfield help over the last year and a half that it's
part of it
that he's getting caught out more?
Lack of help. He had the dude that you all called the best DM in the league, and Fabinho, for like a year and a half.
Yeah, but
the last
off
year
it a little
bit
too, and Hendo's on the right hand side, so Hendo's legs are gone. But I mean, he's still gonna have moments where he has to defend. It's not like he's never gonna be in. Doesn't matter. Go on with your list.
I will say, neither of us put him at number 1. So that is something.
It's not good enough for me. He's not top 5.
Now, I think with the lack of depth in the league, I think he kind of has to be, just for the role he plays in an 11 for Liverpool.
I named 5 that I think are better than him.
That's just my
It's like
opinion.
6 or 7 for me, probably.
There's a good bit. Aït-Nouri is a good shout, but Matty Cash rounds it off for me because I think...
You named 5?
Yeah.
I don't think you mentioned Estupinan at 4.
Yeah. I
Did
said
you?
Trent and Estupinan.
Trent Estupinan and then Matty Cash. No Walker in your top 5? Really?
Wait, so who was 2?
Why?
2 was... Oh, wait. No, Walker is 2.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what it was.
Okay. I was going to...
Yeah, sorry.
It's like no Walker anywhere? That might be
Yeah, no,
harder than no
sorry.
Trent.
Yeah, no, this is what happens when you go off the dome.
Yeah, it's fucking... We're freestyling out here.
Any honorable mentions that weren't?
I mean, Aït-Nouri, for sure.
Yeah.
Botman when he plays the left back role. I
But
think he's a good
we put the
fullback.
asterisk that we're not doing that because, like, if that's the
Well, I
case,
bet,
Ake
right.
over the last year...
No, I was going to say Ake as an honorable mention.
Ben
But
Chil-
Ake, like, flip-flops
Ben
between the two
Chilwell.
roles.
Ben
Chilwell,
Chilwell
for sure.
was
When Chilwell's
another
healthy. I think he's going to have a really good year for Chelsea this year.
And
When
then
he's healthy.
And then I think Robbo at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, no, Robertson for sure as well. I think he's like right on the cusp. I think like a year or 2 ago, he's an easy top 5.
2, maybe 3, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at top 10, I think Robertson easily gets in. I just think, like I mentioned, like why he wasn't in mine, I think he's getting a little older. There are moments where he kind of loses it. He's not as good on the ball as he used to be. He Robertson was so good because he could make those like gut-busting runs just up and down the pitch constantly. You don't see him doing that as much.
And the whippage
Anymore?
in isn't there really
Yeah.
anymore. So
And then give it a year, and Gvardiol will be the best fullback in the league because he's going to play left back, I think, for City this year.
One to watch for the future, Tino Livramento.
Yeah, Livermento's going to be really, really good. I think he's going to have a good year for
thought.
Newcastle if he can get into the side.
Yep. Well, I think that rounds
Yeah.
out our
That
top
was
5
it.
fullbacks. We'll have,
We'll be back next week with center backs, hopefully.
yeah,
I
center
won't
backs,
be.
midfielders,
Yeah,
and
Josh
forwards.
and I will be here with center backs for you guys next week. Mitchell's taking some PTO.
I'm going to watch golf.
Nice. Yeah, that was the main stand. Signing off. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.